Hello everybody. Today we are going to discuss about the agencies. Welcome Gregor Schneider.
Hello.
Hello, you're working for one of the biggest agencies in the EU. You're also the president of the local committee and vice president of U4U. Gregor, what does it mean working in an agency?
Well, the agencies, the decentralized agencies, often are very far away from Brussels, and this brings about the typical problems that an expatriate community has, but less well taken care of, meaning that not in all the locations we have European schools, kindergartens do not necessarily exist, so logistics is more difficult than in Brussels. Then we have a problem of knowledge. Being far away from the center means that the knowledge about individual rights, about staff regulations, is not the same as in Brussels, on both sides, on the side of the employee, who doesn't know about his or her individual rights, and on the side of the employer, who often needs more flexibility in the application of the staff regulations. There's another problem, which is the fact that the work markets, labor markets, in the different locations are not as diverse as in Brussels. Often the only alternative that our staff has is to work in the agency. So we are caught in a golden cage. Very often we have no possibilities of mobility.
So Gregor, what is U4U program in order to help our colleagues in the agencies?
We think that it's important first to push for a sustainable staffing policy in the agencies. That means we should take into account the possibility of giving official posts. Some agencies already have officials, others don't. Officials, the status of being official guarantees the independence of the European administration, and also in the agencies it's necessary to have this independence. Then indefinite contracts is another issue. There are some agencies that limit the possibility of having indefinite contracts and just hand out limited duration contracts. This doesn't make sense. Sustainable employment should be offered also to our staff
in the agencies.
And then there's another thing. This is the social dumping that consists in having too many contract agents being employed, and the discrimination to which it leads, the feeling of discrimination within the agencies, because our colleagues are doing the same work but being paid differently. And this creates a legacy for future generations. It creates a potential of social unrest, which is not good for the agency and for managing this agency. Staff is not motivated and unhappy, so this has to be avoided.
Yes, and this is something we know also in the headquarters, because we have, I think, the same problem. So normally through the social dialogue we could improve this. So how do you achieve a better social dialogue in order to try solve these problems?
The problem is that the staff committees in the agencies are not very strong. They have very little leverage.
Not enough resources, I suppose.
Very often not enough resources. So their capacity to enter into a social dialogue in a political negotiation is very limited. So we have tried to establish the trade unions in the agencies. We have been successful so far in some of the agencies. What we have done, we have signed agreements. We have signed an agreement with the administration in Alicante. We are about to sign agreements in Cologne and in Barcelona. These agreements allow us, framework agreements, to set the framework for a continuous social dialogue, regular annual, biannual meetings that gives us the opportunity to put certain topics, items, hot topics on the agenda of our meetings with the administration.
Well, so it sounds it sounds successful somehow, so this is something that you will be widening in the future. So Gregor, I expect you to come back and let us know about your success in that field, and I wish you good luck for the elections to come in Alicante.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for listening to us, and see you next week.